Hello everyone, welcome back to Command & Conquer and welcome back to the second map of the final Nod mission. And this time we're going to plan our assault from the northeast.
We have reached the end. The final piece to my puzzle is within your grasp. 2 GDI bases rest on ground I have chosen to be the cradle of my temple. Remove them in any way you can.
So here we are again. This time we start in, as the map has suggested, the northeastern corner. And we start with an engineer, so I wonder what that means. And there's a medium tank already, so yeah, I recommend don't move your troops at all, or don't move them towards the east immediately, because otherwise that medium tank is just going to squish your infantry. So it's better to let it attack them, so it will just fire at them but not actually push them. And stay away from the coastline, because there will be another gunboat. So let the harvesting commence. Get a barracks. Yeah, unfortunately you can't build at the very uppermost edge of the map unless it's a building that has a irregular pattern at the start, at the top of its structure, because you just can't move your mouse up so far. So, and there's a GDI actually attacks you with a chopper here. That's a scripted attack, so if you know that beforehand, you can actually just build rocket guys or build anti-air and shoot the chopper down, or place your troops in a way that they can roast those guys the second they come out of the chopper. So yeah, I'm going to take over the Chinook with a newly built engineer because the old one died. So yeah, he's going to walk over Tiberium, but doesn't really matter because Tiberium is damaging if you move over it, but it's not that bad, and it's okay to walk over a little bit of Tiberium. There's that gunboat, probably aiming at my harvester because it's not going to attack my gun turret. So, and I've got that chopper now. And I can already build the Temple of Nod because I built a radar. I'm not going to do that right now because I don't have the power, I don't have the money. And while it's nice to have the nuke early, it's not really worth it having it right now because I can't really utilize it. And it charges relatively fast, so it doesn't charge so slow that you don't really need to build it straight away. So this is the usual decoy SAM site. So time to move out with my troops. Yeah, and there, do you see that GDI Chinook? That GDI Chinook is going to land there, and it's going to land over and over again. So GDI is going to... that gunboat just toasted my infantry. And that gunboat is going to... That Chinook, or Chinooks in general, so yeah, I lost mine here, it doesn't matter. That's... yeah, Chinooks are going to... They'll rebuild the Hand of Nod. I don't know why. I think I overlooked that I already had one. That was completely pointless. So yeah, what I wanted to say about 10 minutes ago. GDI is attacking the village for no reason. So yeah, what I want to say is that Chinook will let an infantry there over and over again. That's pretty annoying, and I just can't crush that bazooka guy. It's just impossible. He's just dodging my harvester. So yeah. GDI is going to land troops there over and over again, and that's a problem because it's close to your Tiberium field. So if you harvest that field, and it's actually a fairly large field, then you're going to have to repair and defend your harvesters all the time. So the best possibility to get rid of that chopper, or all those choppers that will land there over and over again, is to simply put enough rocket guys there so that those Chinooks get shot down right away and can't actually have their troops disembark. So I built all power plants on the northern parts of the map, so ground troops can't reach them. So, and I was lucky because that GDI a rocket launcher actually overlooked. Well, it overlooked my turret for a second, so it got within range of that turret. So that was helping a lot, because otherwise I would have sent troops over there, which I couldn't, or would have to build other defenses. So that That's pretty annoying because that rocket launcher can actually destroy your construction yard fairly quickly, so because it's going to hit all the time. When it attacks the gun turret is pretty small, it occupies only 1 square, so if that happens, it's probably not good. Yeah, it's bombing more civilian villages, so yeah, here. So I still need more defenses, but at least these guys here took care of that 1 Chinook. So yeah. And you really want to have that Tiberium field up there, because that's easy to reach, it's not contested by GDI, and you really need that money, because this is one of those maps where you can come into a situation where your base is well defended, and you can't really be overrun by GDI, but at the same time, you don't have enough troops to overrun GDI themselves, and there's just a stalemate, and the entire game boils down to an incredible slog, and you need forever to finish the map, so it's also not fun to watch for you, so that's why I want to avoid that. So here we are. Just built some defenses down there. That was definitely necessary. And later on, you obviously want to build an airstrip there, refinery, etc., etc.
On hold. Cancelled.
Yeah, always remember that buildings take money away immediately or over time when they're built, but immediately in the sense that you might need that money to actually build something else. And I did get reinforcements, but those were shot down. I'm not really sure what's the point of that, because there's just so much anti-air on that map. If I was supposed to get another chopper, that chopper is bound to be shot down in any case. I mean, there's just no way that at this point of the game I've actually destroyed the DI base. So yeah, I don't know what the point of that is. It might be misscripted. Maybe that chopper is supposed to enter mammoth tank. It's supposed to enter the map at a different edge or so, yeah, but it doesn't really matter. So for now I was just saving for another Tiberium silo. For some reason my harvester wasn't harvesting, so I would harvest more Tiberium faster, and then I could actually expand my base down there.
Yeah, okay.
So that dreaded gunboat is finally gone, but there's a second one. You can see it in the southwestern corner, but that one isn't really close to our base, so it's not really much of an issue. If I still had that chopper, I could actually land forces here, but now that it was destroyed by those 2 bazooka troopers, I can't do it, but it's not really that big of a deal, so it would help. It's kind of like a landing spot on the first map, but it's not exactly essential. And that base down there is actually defended, so that was another Chinook. So it's not like you can just waltz in with engineers and take it over. More mammoth. Yeah. Disrupt building that refinery again. Yeah, downside of that map is that Tiberium feels pretty far away. So next time we'll play this, I'll probably move my construction yard to the northern central part of the map, so that Tiberium field was closer. Yeah, but it's too late for that now, and it doesn't really matter, to be honest. But if you play this map, you might want to move a little bit to the west. But once I have that refinery going, it shouldn't be too much of an issue, because harvesters only need a couple of seconds later, so it's not that big of a deal. So, second refinery, and for some reason the distance to the Tiberium field seems to be too large, because my harvesters are constantly not harvesting for some reason. So thinking about what to build next. I don't actually know what I was thinking that very moment, so... But I think I wanted a third refinery on that southern part of the map, because I really need that income. And since GDI isn't pressuring you too much, I mean, they do attack you, but at this point, that Brotherhood of Nod and that gun turret was sufficient to defend my base, so there was no need to build excessive base defenses. I still have that technician, I don't really need it, and yeah, here an Orca started attacking my harvesters, and there my SAM site actually was really useful. Not only as a decoy, but an actual anti-air device. So yeah, SAM sites are tough. And the thing is, SAM sites are actually tougher when they're closed, so if you attack a SAM site, let's say with an iron cannon, it's not going to be destroyed. What you can do is you can attack it with an air unit, wait until the actual like missile device comes out, and then have, yeah, still managed to kill those guys, but yeah, I lost my infantry. And if you manage to, those units block one another, if you manage to like hit it when it's open with an iron cannon, it will actually be destroyed. So yeah, if you want to use your iron cannon against SAM sites, keep that in mind. So squish those guys successfully. Even the Grenadiers are really fast, they're really good at running away from vehicles, but not that guy. That guy stood and fight, and he died for it. So time to get some bazooka guys going to put an end to those assaults. You should be good with 3, but to be safe you might want to have 5. It's a little bit pricey, it costs you $1,500, but then it's worth it, because you even save a couple of units, it's already worth it. So more mammoth tanks, not much of a problem.
Unit ready. Building.
In 5 form a nice group, they can stand on 1 square, so... Except I only built 4, but who cares. Yeah, if you move to that Tiberium field, you're going to be attacked by orcas because it's close to the GDI base. Keep that in mind. So when you harvest the Tiberium at a point where you don't have any anti-air. Because those harvesters will be chased basically all the way back to your base, so... So everything is in good shape. Yeah, and that should take care of those Chinooks. Time for even more refineries. Still looking nervously to those rocket guys. And you really have to keep an eye on your harvesters. On the first map, there was this annoying issue where the northern harvester wanted to the southern refinery, the southern harvester wanted to the northern refinery, and here, occasionally they don't go to the Tiberium field, or they just don't harvest. It's really kind of annoying. Yeah, there we go, and those guys are sufficient. Still kept my light tank there because I can't move it to the south, and those attacks, those Chinook attacks are the only attacks I will suffer from the north, so I might as well keep it there. And again, harvesters not harvesting. It's so annoying. But in later games, harvesters have a much better AI and they're harvesting way better. There's pretty much no distance between harvesters and refineries, so they're always going to harvest somewhere. Which can be good or bad, because occasionally they will move to an enemy base and will be destroyed, just like enemy harvesters will be. And that refinery is almost ready. That will mean even more money. There we go. And that harvester couldn't find any Tiberium. But that's alright. There we go. And there's a mammoth tank, so... But luckily I was able to lure that mammoth tank into my defenses. If I had just stayed on the Tiberium field, that would be way more annoying, because that would have meant I would have meant to build units to actually get rid of it, and that's way more annoying, but thankfully that one just, yeah, obeyed my wish and walked to my defenses. So now I should have some decent income, finally. So let's go for that advanced power plant. Yeah, as I mentioned before, if your power gets in the yellow area, it doesn't really matter too much. I think there's a very slight decline in productivity, but I never really noticed it. If your power goes red, that's definitely means that you need to build power plants. Otherwise you build everything slowly. So, and some of your structures, such as Obelisk of Light, will actually stop functioning. So some of the structures which do take power will still function. Let's prepare that guy just in case. He's barely lost any health, but you don't want to risk it. Thank you for running into my defenses.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
And I don't like that, yeah, Yeah, occasionally when you build your repair pad on a very certain spot, the unit will enter it, leave it, and then be stuck because there's dead end behind that repair pad. So you have to put on the repair pad again, then move it into a different direction manually. So that occasionally happens, so keep that in mind too. Yeah, there we go, not a problem. I think that's something like the 8th mammoth tank I killed. There's probably more units waiting to attack my northern base, but they can't reach it, so they're just standing there. They have to kill those at one point, otherwise I might catch the attention of my southern base, and then they're going to tank rush me. I don't really want that. Yeah, that guy was definitely waiting to attack my northern base, which he can't because he can't swim. Or at least he can't swim while carrying a minigun, which I'm not really sure I could. I don't know how heavy miniguns are. I'm a good swimmer, but maybe not that good. So let's go for the Temple of Nod, which I might regret or might stop because it's so expensive. So yeah, if you build the Temple of Nod, obviously build on the northern part of the map because they're safe from everything but airstrikes and those Chinook attacks. I think there was another Chinook attack in the meantime, but it got shot down, so not much of a problem. Yeah, and my turret was actually damaged quite considerably. But my harvester was on his way back, so I didn't need to interrupt the construction of the Temple of Nod. I think the Temple of Nod is the most energy intensive building. I think it's even more energy intensive than the Advanced Construction Center, Advanced Communication Center, so yeah. Which is also way more economic because it also functions as a normal communication center, so you can basically build it and then sell your normal communication center for $500, which bring half its price obviously, so which brings down the cost of your advanced communication center to less than $2,500. More mammoth tanks. Again, not a problem. Yeah, and as I've said before, destroying that mammoth tank facility was just completely useless. But I guess it slowed down production or so, even though they had mammoth tanks in the very next mission, so yeah, whatever. So time to get an army of sorts. And that flame tank landed, and literally a second later it started flaming infantry. That's how I like it. Yeah, and I hope those guys actually attack my defense and don't move against my airfield. I don't want that to happen. That guy just decided to walk away after firing one shot, which was weird. Yeah, and there we have that harvester misery again. So time to build another gun turret. And GDI does have an iron cannon on this map, at least from what I remember, but they barely ever use it. On the other maps they use it way more frequently. But I have nothing against that. So time to build some heavy-ish armor, or at least armor as heavy as it gets for Nord. Another downside of the airfield as opposed to the arms factory is that you can have a priority building, so a building where your unit comes out, but the plane will approach it, but then it might actually change position, and I was never really able to find out that light tank almost died while being repaired. Never really found out what's the pattern behind your stuff being delivered. Yeah, you will soon see why I built that SAM site. So my troops are still safe. And those harvesters got not stuck. That's kind of amazing, because that choke point is just asking for them to get stuck. Time for some reckoning with recon bikes. There we go. Recon bikes are pretty good because of their speed. They can actually practically hit and run heavier units. They're also pretty good in multiplayer. So there we go, and that's exactly what I want. I want to lure out those orcas. Now those guys are going to get smoked by my SAM site, and they did attack my Risk of Light with a iron cannon there, but it's only the second time they did it in what, 15 to 20 minutes, so yeah. And they could use it every couple of minutes really. And those grenadiers are really just staying there. And just, oh god, we want to attack that base, we all died and exploded, so Well, that's the fate of that's a good idea, really. So let's bat out my defense a little bit and let's repair that gun turret, really. Yeah, gun turret will win a battle against the medium tank provided it's repaired. Stop attacking my harvester.
Building.
That medium tank just went away for some reason. So let's see whether I actually got all those orcas. Yes, I did, but not that mammoth tank. Some more gun turrets. With obelisk of light in the middle, which seems to work quite well. Yeah, I always like when they attack my base defense, because I can just click on those and repair them. I don't have to send them to the repair pad. Way more convenient. Very calm music. Not I like it, but it's more music for infiltration style missions, not really for the final mission, but who cares? Still good. And there's a advanced power plant, I think a communication center and an advanced guard tower there, and those will actually be able to attack your harvesters later on when they harvest Tiberium in the south, so you might want to get rid of that as soon as possible. And those structures will not be rebuilt by GDI, so they're scripted to be, yeah, a one-off, so to speak. And you want those flame tanks, because those are really good at flaming advanced guard towers when they get close to them.
Reinforcements have arrived. Building.
More light tanks, and I think we should be good. Let's just do some more weakening. Or maybe not. And wait for that last tank. So that harvester got stuck. That harvester on the north also got stuck, which is also annoying. And there's another Chinook. And it dies just as usual. I wonder what that pilot thing is like. Pilot approach that position. But sir, like the previous 8 Chinooks who did that died horribly. Just do it! Yeah, but at the AI, so what are we expecting? So here we go.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Rocket guys, more orcas. A lot more orcas. And that by got blocked and destroyed, but that's acceptable. Got some information out of that. That makes it okay. More infantry. Yeah, those guys exploded.
Construction complete. Reinforcements have arrived.
Humvees, not a problem. So let's try that again.
Construction complete.
Shall we?
Reinforcements have arrived.
So, at least I could lure out 1 orca. Out of 3, with 1 of them already being dead, so... I always do that orca lurking. And there's another one, but that's also not a problem because I have a second SAM site there, so... Provide my house, I would actually go there.
Building.
Yeah, so more flame tanks. Yeah, I usually like to have flame tanks and light tanks in a ratio of 2 to 1. Mostly because flame tanks are so good against buildings, and that's what you need to destroy first. You can always destroy units later and have them run to your base defense if that SAM site actually considerably damaged. But yeah, buildings, that's what you actually want to smoke.
Construction
So
complete.
time to move out.
Reinforcements have arrived. Building.
Let's just gather my forces.
Construction complete. Reinforcements have arrived.
Yeah, now I have pretty good cash flow. And I actually have a decent army, so we're getting somewhere here. There's another Chinook there. They will try that until this mission ends. They're never going to give up. So there's a normal guard tower, not much problem. So get this power plant destroyed. Advanced guard tower. Yeah, you can take over the communication center or that power plant and like build your own defense there to have like frontline defenses, but that makes actually getting rid of those guard towers pretty difficult, so it's probably not worth the hassle. So yeah, my Base defense are taking quite a beating.
Building.
Yeah, but it was worth it. GI lost more stuff than I did, so
Lost.
that's alright.
Construction complete.
So, and my army is mostly intact. I lost 2 or 3 units, but wasn't really all that bad. Let's repair the heavily damaged units. Let's do some more exploration with my stealth tank. That's what we're really good for. The stealth tanks are better in multiplayer, where you can actually generate surprise players, but the problem is that in multiplayer, 99% of the structures the GDI has are going to be surrounded by those concrete walls, and often you can't really enter a base without touching a unit being revealed and then being blown up. But I did discover their construction yard and some Tiberium silos. If I took out those advanced guardhouse down there, they could probably capture the Tiberium silos over and over again. But yeah, I don't really have the resources to do that at this point, so yeah, let's do that later. Let's repair that tank because it's pretty damaged in the yellow part of its health bar. Defense in the north are still holding up, so that's great.
Progress. Construction complete. Building.
And more flame tanks. And there's a GDI harvester. I'm pretty sure it's going to steal my Tiberium.
Construction complete. Reinforcements have arrived.
The good thing about having discovered that construction yards is that now I just need to find the second construction yard, blow that up, and then nuke that other construction yard. So and there goes their harvester, their first harvester. They've got a second one.
Building.
And they're actually infantry rushing me afterwards. That noise you hear is my stealth tank cloaking and uncloaking.
Have arrived.
Because when it's damaged, it tends to uncloak. They're actually sending out quite a lot of stuff, and they do have a couple of engineers too. But they're usually not using them correctly, so it doesn't matter too much. And I have flame tank, so not much of a problem. Yep, and those engineers are gone.
Reinforcements have arrived.
So they're sending out a lot of stuff. It was actually good, so I don't have to fight that stuff later in their base, but can now fight it close to my base, which is nice.
Construction complete. Reinforcements
There we
have
go,
arrived.
right into my obelisk of light. That's how I like it.
Building.
And there's another harvester.
Complete. Reinforcements
Let's
have arrived.
not use my stealth tank for that. Let's not include my harvester in my attack group. And the technician actually managed
Building.
to fire a shot before he got blown up. That's pretty amazing.
Construction complete. Reinforcements have arrived.
Now they're sending out a lot of stuff. It's
Lost.
kind of getting annoying, to be honest. So more bazooka guys. But again, not much problem. There's probably a second construction yard in that
Building.
southeastern base, so I'm probably going to go for that first, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I actually recorded this footage, and as usual, this is, at least as usual for the last mod missions, this is a post-commentary. More Chi nukes, and no, never going to give up. And more GI harvesters. And harvesters stuck again, which is again really annoying. And that was the iron cannon again. And another GI harvester is down. Yeah, in this game you are kind of forced to build
Construction complete.
like medium range or close range units, mostly because you don't have real artillery. You do have artillery, but you don't have real artillery in the sense that you have artillery that can outrange all the base defense and everything, like the new cannons of Command Conquer Generals or the V2 and V3 rockets of the Red Alert series, stuff like that. So we don't really have that here,
Reinforcements
let alone the
have
Nod artillery from Tiberium Sun, which is ridiculous. But we're going to get to that later. Again, sneaky music. But before we go out, let's do some repairs. Yeah, that flame tank almost blew up, but didn't. So that Tiberium Field North almost exhausted, but was definitely worth harvesting that one with 2 harvesters because that gave me the majority of my income. Those guys are really damaged. All of them are like 90% dead. It seems to happen quite often, so maybe the health bar is not non-linear. I think it is, but okay, in some games it's not, and it's really kind of annoying. And my nuke is ready. Just how I wanted it to be. Let's just get some more units. Yeah, and that one wasn't really finished, but doesn't really matter. What I do here is I place a medium tank, light tank, sorry, on a piece of Tiberium, so it will basically work like a blossom tree. It will support the growth of more Tiberium, even though there's an actual blossom tree. It doesn't really hurt to have 2 sources. And those engineers, which were zapped both at the same time because they were occupying the same spot, those could actually have taken over staff if that didn't have the obelisk, because gun turrets aren't really good against engineers. So yeah, keep that in mind. A lot of my units are still damaged, but I can't really bother to repair all of them manually, it's just too annoying.
Our base is under attack. Construction complete.
That bazooka guy actually can actually deal some damage. Yeah, he dealt even more damage than that rocket launcher. So let's move out of my units. They're not keeping formation, not at all.
Building.
So more light tanks. The medium tank, yep, that's gone.
Reinforcements have arrived.
So let's go for that base. Could also attack that western base by shooting a hole into their concrete wall and then just moving in 1 or 2 flame tanks and destroying the construction yard. But I still need to find the other construction yard before I do that, so get rid of this guard tower here. And there's the other construction yard, so that's what I wanted to end. That's also why I got rid of those hawkers. So let's destroy this one. There we go. And now let's destroy their construction yard and their arms factory too. There we go. Yep. That also means once I destroy that southern arms factory, they're not going to be able to build any vehicles. Provided we don't have a third arms factory, which I don't think they have. They have a lot of guard towers here, but doesn't really matter. Even if this entire army dies, that attack was totally worth it. And there actually a harvester came out of their arms factory. Yeah, that's how they work at times. So there we go. You can also take over the space and sell it, or take over the construction yard and build GI units and stuff, but you don't really need it. It's nice to have medium tanks and mammoth tanks, but it's also sufficient to have flame tanks protected by light tanks, really. So for now, all GDI can build is infantry. Which is still annoying, but at least they can no longer build rocket artillery. And my army actually did quite well, most of them survived. Mainly because I attacked their harvesters before, and they didn't leave any vehicles in their bases. So there's still an annoying gunboat. I have to deal with that at one point. It's kind of annoying to deal with the gunboats with vehicles because it just takes so long. We always drive from east to west and from west to east, so you have to do that half a dozen times until you actually destroy it. But first, time for some repairs. And those harvesters pretty much stopped harvesting because there were really no Tiberium left, but I still have some Tiberium left here and are basically decapitated GDIs, so yeah, should be good. And that's Mechanical Man, one of my favorite songs. But it's not as good as Actor Instinct. that's still my favorite.
Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, acknowledge. Acknowledge. Moving out. Vehicle
So yeah, that guy got toasted.
acknowledge.
Yeah, Grenadier is pretty much the most dangerous thing they're going to be able to send now. Could actually build a repair bay on northern part of the map, sell my refineries and my 2 harvesters, and then sell my repair bay. That will actually make some money, but I don't really need it desperately, so to speak.
Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, sir.
And I actually think GDI stopped doing any airstrikes. They destroyed the civilian village, but there's still some buildings left. And I don't actually think they have attacked anything else since, because I haven't really repaired my SAM site. I'm pretty sure that would have been destroyed at this point if it was attacked.
Vehicle report affirmative.
Yeah, but maybe they're just going to send more Chinooks instead.
Construction complete. Reinforcements have arrived. Unit ready. Building.
Moving out.
Unit ready.
The reason why I sent those guys there is because I really couldn't be bothered with those defense getting overrun, so. And my Temple of Nod is kind of exposed. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. I didn't want to sell it, surely. I mean, I used the nuclear missile and I won't get that back when I rebuild it. But at least, I mean, I need to build it anyway to finish this mission, so I might as well just keep it there. And selling it only gives me $1,500, which is nice, but not exactly essential.
Building.
Those GDI units in the south, they're just standing there and doing nothing for some reason. But seem to be twitching. Maybe they're stuck.
Construction complete. Reinforcements have arrived.
More reinforcements, and these troops should be sufficient to overrun most, if not all, of the GDI base. Even though they do have a lot of advanced guard towers.
Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Construction complete. Reinforcements have
Waiting
arrived.
order. Affirmative. Unit reporting. Moving out. Yes, sir. Moving out. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Moving out. Moving out.
So time to move out. Lots of choke points here, which is a little bit annoying, but yeah, sometimes you just have to sacrifice a couple of units. There's another harvester, I definitely destroy that.
Yes, sir.
And I don't really need those silos, so I might as well smoke them and deny GDI that money. They're moving out their entire infantry at this point, pretty much. And more engineers, but not really a problem. There's a pesky gunboat.
Our base is under attack.
Yeah, Grenadiers attacking gun. Those gun turrets. They will lose in the long run, provided I repair those gun turrets. There's a harvester, which can't really do a whole lot at this point, even though I think they have a second refinery in that base. More gun turrets. And that's pretty much their last rocket assault. Yep, so there goes their last refinery, and they have a lot of guard towers here. But ultimately, yeah, it doesn't really matter at this point. I got them. I didn't even manage to sell them. Probably because they had enough Tiberium. But they don't really have anything they can build with it. And I'm kind of surprised they aren't spamming infantry. Maybe that's just not in the AI script. And there goes their barracks.
Construction complete.
Building light tanks just because I can.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Luckily I already destroyed those harvesters. And that corner should also be their advanced communication center. Provided they actually have one, or that wasn't in that other base and I already destroyed it. Which might which apparently is the case.
Have arrived.
That was another technician. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this, and I think there's a harvester on the field to the south, and I also have to destroy that gunboat, so then we should be good. Yeah, there's that harvester. Don't really think I have to destroy the civilian village because it's shown as grey on the map, or blue-grey. That usually means it's neutral, and I can destroy it as not, but I don't have to. Yeah, this should be over soon, and this time I'm going to show you
Building.
2 more endings, and then when we play the final map, the very final map,
Complete.
I'm going to show you the last
Have
ending.
arrived.
Moving out.
So, time to go for the gunboat.
Building. Unit ready. Building. Unable to comply.
I just want to smoke that
Unit ready.
village there to get sure that I didn't need to destroy it, that I did need to destroy it, so that's that gunboat, so let's go for it, which nobody does because our flame tanks in the first row, they can't really go for it, and I don't think light tanks have the range to do it, so I have to go over here. And look at that red blob on the map, it looks so glorious.
Unit moving out. Vehicle reporting. Moving out. Reporting.
Lost.
Moving out. Not a problem.
Yeah, that's why you shouldn't use flamethrowers in groups. Come over here, thank you.
Yes, sir.
And of course the gunboat just moved away, so I can't attack it now.
Building.
I'm actually building an MCV just in case, which builds really slowly. So just in case I have to build a gun turret there to actually deal with that gunboat.
Yes, sir.
But this should do it, at least I think it should. And there's a lone flame tank, but it's not being attacked for some reason. Might as well sell those defenses because I don't really need them. So there's nothing to defend against.
Got it. Reporting.
I'm not really sure why I sent those guys there, to be honest. I could continue housing there because there's some Tiberium left, but didn't really need that. But yeah, this should be it for the gunboat.
Unit affirmative.
Yep, there we go. Or maybe not. Guess there had to be stuff left somewhere.
Cancel.
Probably alone. The technician there that might actually be GDI technician, the guy in the yellow shirt and the purple trousers.
On hold. Cancel.
And actually had a recon bike.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was actually the hostile technician. Yeah, that technician need to be killed. He was a threat to national security. And here we go. So that was the final launch mission, second map. Had quite a lot of ending credits actually. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, enjoy another 2 endings. Take care, and I shall see you later.
Be that much more difficult. Y'all son. And you, Larry, I saw you what you did when you dropped yourself the other day.
Your efforts have landed us here, my faithful friend. The temple is complete, and we are about to embark upon our greatest exploit. For now, relax, and watch as my netrunners dance through the web of cyberspace. Once inside, the world is at my fingertips. Begin.
Welcome to the Global Defense Initiative Orbital Defense Matrix.
The world. Where to strike? Where will the world most keenly feel the blade of GDI treachery? You have done much to aid the Brotherhood towards this final victory. The choice, my friend, is yours.
At the United Nations today, angry political leaders of the G7 nations issued a formal statement denying complicity in last Tuesday's tragedy involving Paris's famed Eiffel Tower. The death toll in what some are calling an unwarranted attack passed 700 today as rescue workers and United Nations teams continued to sift through the rubble, unearthing 14 more bodies from what was once Paris's most famous landmark. French President Henri Prichard, safe in London at the time of the attack, reiterated his support of the UN statement, despite growing opposition to global defense initiative policies. Prichard labeled the disaster, quote, a mind-numbing At the United Nations today, angry political leaders of the G7 nations issued a formal statement denying complicity in last Tuesday's tragedy involving the British Houses of Parliament and Big Ben, the world's most famous clock. The death toll in what some are calling an unwarranted attack passed 1,100 today as rescue workers and United Nations teams continued to sift through the rubble, unearthing 12 more bodies from what was once the seat of British government. Prime Minister Francis Wetherell, safe at Chequers at the time of the explosion, reiterated his support of the UN statement, despite growing opposition to global defense initiative policies. Wetherell labeled the disaster, quote, a mind-numbing accident. GDI Task Force Commander General Mark Shepard, accompanied by U.S. Attorney General Nancy Griffith, testified before a Senate congressional hearing earlier today. Shepard, once the golden boy of international diplomacy, wilted under intense cross-examination from hostile senators, demanding explanations for the blast that leveled the historic landmark and sparked an international debate on the need for more effective safeguards in the age of high-tech warfare. Defensive but unapologetic, Shepard admitted he had no idea how secure